Australia 101. Everything you need to know to be Australian.
Business email etiquette. Email etiquette is the code of conduct that guides behavior when writing or responding to emails. The principles of proper email etiquette can vary slightly depending on the recipient of your email and the circumstances. For example, email etiquette changes when you write to a friend versus a colleague or business acquaintance. In business email etiquette, use a professional tone, include a clear subject line, proofread carefully, and be concise. Also, consider your audience, use appropriate greetings and sign-offs, and be mindful of reply all and attachments. General professionalism. Use a professional email address. Avoid using nicknames or unprofessional-sounding email addresses for business correspondence. Maintain a professional tone. Keep your language formal and avoid slang, excessive use of exclamation points, or sarcasm. Proofread carefully. Always check for typos, grammatical errors, and ensure your message is clear and easy to understand. Be concise. Get straight to the point and avoid unnecessary details or rambling. Use standard fonts and formatting. Stick to common, legible fonts like Arial, Times New Roman, or Calibri. Email structure and content. Clear and descriptive subject line. A good subject line helps recipients prioritize your email and understand its purpose. Appropriate greeting and sign-off. Use a professional salutation, example, dear name, hello name, and a polite sign-off, example, sincerely, best regards. Introduce yourself, if necessary. If you're emailing someone you don't know well, briefly introduce yourself and your company. Include a professional signature. Your email signature should include your name, title, company, and contact information. Consider your audience. Tailor your language and tone to the recipient and the context of the email. Use sentence case. Capitalize the first word of each sentence and use proper punctuation. Call out attachments. Mention any attachments in the body of the email to avoid confusion. Use BCC appropriately. Use blind carbon copy, BCC. To protect the privacy of recipients when sending to multiple people. Think before forwarding. Ensure the email is appropriate to forward and that you have the recipient's permission. Set informative out-of-office replies. If you are away, set up an out-of-office reply to inform recipients of your absence and expected return date. Respond in a timely manner. Aim to respond to emails within 24 hours, or acknowledge receipt and provide a timeframe for a full response. Be mindful of reply all. Only use reply all when the entire group needs to be informed. Don't send anything you wouldn't want read aloud. Be cautious about the content of your emails, as they can be easily forwarded or copied. Use proper email punctuation. Use punctuation correctly and appropriately. 28 Email etiquette rules for the workplace. When sending or replying to emails, here are some of the key email etiquette rules to keep in mind in the workplace. Use standard formatting. Standard fonts, such as Times New Roman or Arial, are generally considered appropriate for business emails, along with standard font sizes and colors. If you use bold or italics, use them sparingly. If you're copying and pasting text, clear the formatting before sending the email, as it may appear different from the rest of your text. To clear formatting, you can use Command plus / on a Mac or Control plus Shift plus N on a PC. Include a clear subject line. Another important rule of email etiquette is to title your email clearly so the recipient knows what the message is about. For example, if you're emailing to follow up on a presentation, you might write, "Follow-up question about your presentation." Emails with clear and brief subject lines often have better open rates, so try to be descriptive and concise. Email from a professional email address. Whenever possible, send business-related emails from a professional email address. If you're self-employed or using a personal email address for work-related correspondence, it's considered good email etiquette to ensure that it doesn't contain any words that some might consider unprofessional. Use the correct email format. A business email should have a simple but specific structure, which includes a subject line, greeting, body, and sign-off. The body of your email may be in short paragraphs. Organize the information in the body section so your recipient can easily understand your message. Use professional greetings. Choose a salutation that's appropriate for the relationship you have with the recipient. If you're emailing a coworker, a casual greeting such as "hello" may be appropriate. If you're contacting someone for the first time, or if they are a professional acquaintance, use a more formal greeting like "Dear Sarah Atkins." It's recommended to use the person's name exactly as it's shown in their email signature line. This means don't assume someone named Jennifer goes by Jen, unless you've seen them sign their emails that way. Use an introduction. Depending on who you're emailing, it's best to introduce yourself by your first and last name and identify the company you're representing within the first few lines. When corresponding with new contacts, clients, potential customers, or employers, it's also good email etiquette to let them know how you received their contact information. Example: "My name is Jessica Franklin, and I'm with White Label Agency. Mark Gregston gave me your name and suggested I contact you regarding your amazing printing services." Choose your salutation and sign off carefully. When sending a business email, choose appropriate salutations. This can help your correspondence appear more professional. Examples of appropriate salutations include: "Hello," "Hi," "Good morning," "Dear." When ending your email, use a formal sign-off such as "Sincerely," "Kind regards," "Best wishes." Reply to all your emails. Responding to all emails you receive is not only considered good email etiquette, it's also polite. If you tend to receive a lot of emails, consider sorting spam emails into folders and unsubscribing from email lists where you no longer want to participate. Avoid using all caps. Use sentence case, as you would for any formal communication. It's unprofessional to use all caps. Doing so can misconstrue your intentions and meaning. Example: "Anne, it was great seeing you at the meeting. I look forward to connecting again soon." Double-check attachments. If you can copy and paste information into an email rather than attaching a document, do that. If not, let the recipient know in the body of your email that you're attaching a document. It's also good email etiquette to compress the documents or attach them in a zip file so they take up less space in the recipient's inbox. Alternatively, you may want to consider uploading documents to a shared location and giving the recipient a link to access them. Shorten links. When sharing a website, use a link shortener to shorten the link or hyperlink text within the email. Including links in this way can help your email appear cleaner. A short link is also easier to copy and paste into a web browser. Proofread. Proper spelling and grammar are important when sending business correspondence. It's always recommended to proofread your work before you hit send. Likewise, double-check the spelling of the recipient's name and email address, because autocorrect may alter names. You can install plugins to check your writing and find errors automatically. Don't use emojis. Even if the recipient has used emojis when communicating with you, resist the temptation to use them yourself. Emojis can come across as unprofessional in certain company cultures. Instead, you can express your emotion through the tone of your email and word choice. Reply within 24 hours. When someone emails you, replying within 24 hours is common courtesy and generally considered a good display of email etiquette. If you've unintentionally passed this time frame, apologize and politely explain the delay. When sending an email, you may provide a gentle reminder about time sensitivities so that the recipient remembers to reply quickly. Keep your tone professional. Think carefully about the words you choose when writing your email and how others may interpret your intention. For example, consider using positive words, such as opportunities and challenges, instead of obstacles and limitations. Avoid negativity, sarcasm and adjectives that can cause you to sound overly emotional. Perfect your email signature. An email signature is a special text box that displays your contact information at the bottom of an email. A signature typically includes your name, job title, company website, and phone number. If you don't have an email signature, creating one is useful because it can make your emails appear more professional. Use BCC appropriately. BCC stands for Blind Carbon Copy, which is similar to CC, carbon copy, except that the email recipients specified in the BCC field don't appear in the header, or to the recipients in the to or CC fields. Using BCC is good etiquette if you want to protect someone's email address rather than exposing it to others. For example, if you're emailing a group of subcontractors about a change in policy or procedure, it's considerate to BCC everyone on the list. Think before forwarding. A good practice for forwarding is to summarize what's being discussed, so the recipient quickly knows what you need from them. It's also important to remember that some emails may contain private or sensitive information, so you might not be able to forward them. Use caution when forwarding and ask permission from the original sender if you're unsure to whom you can forward the email. Set informative out-of-office replies. If you plan to be out of the office for an extended period, set up an automated out-of-office reply message to let people know you won't be able to respond to their emails until a specific date. Be sure to provide a contact name if there's an urgent matter, include out of office, and the date in the subject line so recipients can quickly recognize that they've received an automatic response. It's also good etiquette and helpful to write the first line in the message as, "This is an automated message while I am out of the office." Reply to all your emails. Responding to all emails you receive is not only considered good email etiquette, it's also polite. If you tend to receive a lot of emails, consider sorting spam emails into folders and unsubscribing from email lists where you no longer want to participate. Refrain from using humor. Humor is very subjective and may not be appropriate for email correspondence. Your recipient may misunderstand a joke. Instead of humor, consider using a light and positive tone. Be aware of cultural differences. What's appropriate in your culture may not be appropriate to another, so it's important to recognize cultural differences and remain respectful. You can also be aware of cultural differences by increasing your self-awareness. Use discretion. Use caution when sharing information over email because it may not remain confidential. A cornerstone of good email etiquette is to protect private or sensitive information about yourself and others. For example, don't share passwords over email.
Embed your answers. When replying to an email that asks 3 or more questions, a good rule of etiquette is to embed your answers. This organizes the information for the recipient and may make communication easier. When you embed your answers, you can simply copy and paste the questions from the previous email and include your answers underneath each question.
Include a call to action. A call to action in emails can be valuable because it informs the recipient of what you want them to do with the information. For example, you may request your colleague to provide feedback on your work, or ask that a team leader share the information you give with their team. It's generally most effective to include your call to action at the end of your message so that the recipient can take action as soon as they finish reading. Check your open rates. An open rate for email measures how many people click and read an email. If you use software that tracks the emails you send, you can see who opens your email. This can be useful for cold emailing. If you have a mailing list, you may use open rates to determine who to send reminders to if they don't open a previous email. Write the email address last. When drafting your email, consider inputting the recipient's email address last. This prevents you from accidentally hitting send before you finish writing. Ensure your message is mobile-friendly. Many people read their emails on their mobile devices. With this in mind, ensuring your email is easy to read on a phone or tablet can be considered good email etiquette. One way to make your email mobile-friendly is by keeping your message brief. Request email example 1. Read the email carefully. As you have noticed, the email has a clear subject line. Enumeration of the client's circumstances and things to consider. It also includes the secure link to client documents saved on a secure portal. It has a proper sign-off, including the name of the sender and position in the company. Reminder email sample. If you noticed on the subject line, the email is straightforward. This is important so the receiver is made aware that the email is important from just looking at the inbox. The body of the email contains a gentle reminder, but also very straightforward, as it implies urgency due to the nature of the business. The sender also attached the website in case the receiver has not followed the page. It is also included with the email address of the submission. Finally, the sign-off contains the complete name with the position in the company. Bad email samples. There is nothing I could say to this email, as it is obviously a scam. Scam emails often contains unclear messages, and would like you to do this abruptly. The second example is an application letter. If you're reading the email, it sounds very professional and clear, but as you get to the sender's email address, it is inappropriate, as some business owners or company will take it as an insult as to not taking the application seriously. The third example has the most potential to be a proper email, but then he has left out the proper spacing for each words. Always be careful about spacing. Email activity 1. What should be the appropriate reply? Subject: Sorry for late payment, husband passed. Dear Chase, sorry for not paying on time. My husband passed due to cancer, and I was out for a while coping. Can you PLZ send me the invoice so I can pay my bill? TNX. Sandy cheeks. Which of these is the appropriate reply? A. Subject, please pay invoice. Dear Sandy. No worries, please refer to the attached invoice so you can pay your bill. It's a good thing you have get back at this as your bill is way overdue. Please pay as soon as possible to avoid late fees. Kind regards. Charles Xavier. Or B. Subject, Re. 20250328 financial planning invoice Sandy Cheeks. Dear Sandy. Thanks for reaching out about this and I am so sorry for your loss. No worries for the late payment. Please refer to the attached invoice so you can pay the bill at your most convenient time. No need to rush in paying this. Kind regards. Charles Xavier. Financial planner. If you've answered letter A, please repeat this unit. It is pretty obvious that the choice B is the more appropriate reply. Always remember to be considerate, especially on times of bereavement. Yes, you have to get paid. But imagine if something happens to you and your advisor replied the first email. Which is the appropriate email? A. Subject, 202504116 overdue payment Zeke Everglade. Dear Zeke. Hope this finds you well. We have received an email from the ATO that you have an overdue payment of $20,000. Please refer to the attached BPAY statement so you can pay online. Note, the attachment is password protected. To open, just enter your date of birth using the format DDMMYYYY. For example, if your date of birth is the 1st of January, 1950, you need to enter 01011950. Kind regards. Aslan Tumnus. B. Subject, 202504116 overdue payment Zeke Everglade. Dear Zeke. Hope this finds you well. We have received an email from the ATO that you have an overdue payment for your business activity statement. Please refer to the attached BPAY details so you can pay online. Note, the attachment is password protected. To open, just enter your date of birth using the format DDMMYYYY. For example, if your date of birth is the 1st of February, 1950, you need to enter 01021950. Kind regards. Aslan Tumnus. Both of these are appropriate emails. The email is well made, straightforward, and has a proper tone. The difference is, according to cybersecurity practices for anti-scam and hacking, any information of owed amount or money to be received should not be present or detailed in the body of the email. In the least, you have to attach the document password protected, as the info may be used by cybercriminals. Why is email etiquette important? The way you communicate is a reflection of your character, work ethic, and attention to detail. When writing emails in a professional setting, you may also be representing the character and values of your employer. Companies can benefit from implementing email etiquette rules for these reasons. Professionalism. Using proper email etiquette conveys a professional image of the organization. Efficiency. Emails that follow good email etiquette are often more direct and concise, conveying their message quickly. The do's and don'ts of business email etiquette. Few things can tarnish your professional brand quite like a poorly written, misguided email. One click of the send button can be the difference between a successful business exchange and a potential HR issue or co-worker conflict. And while Australians send hundreds of thousands of emails a day, it should not be taken for granted. Whether you're a senior professional or an office newbie, here are 13 must-remember do's and don'ts of business email etiquette. Do pay attention to the subject line. Write a clear, concise subject line that reflects the body of the email. Avoid subject lines with general words like "Hi, touching base," or "FYI," and do not leave the subject line blank. Do use a proper salutation. Hi and hey communicate a lack of professionalism and maturity. Begin your email with phrases such as "good morning," "good afternoon," "good evening," or "hello." "Good day" or "greetings" are other phrases used frequently in the international arena. Do use an introduction. In cultures like the US, the best practice is for the sender to introduce themselves by first and last name, with some background information in the first few lines. For example, "Dear Ms. Mandel, my name is Sharon Schweitzer, founder of Access to Culture. I was referred to you by," or "My name is Sharon Schweitzer, and I am an international business expert writing to you about." This is especially important when introducing yourself to new contacts, potential customers, clients, and employers who want to know how you received their contact information. Do know the culture. When sending emails to people from indirect cultures, it is proper protocol and a best practice to research country customs. For example, in Japan, it is polite, appropriate, and customary to inquire about the weather in the first sentence of a business email. Contrastingly, it would be inappropriate to send an email introducing yourself to a potential Japanese contact. In indirect cultures, introductions are only made by mutually respected third parties due to custom. Cold emails are ignored, deleted, blocked, and/or marked as junk. Don't include humor and sarcasm. Emails can easily be misinterpreted through text without context. Humor is culture-specific. Avoid both humor and sarcasm in emails as the recipient may be confused, or worse, offended. Do double-check your attachments. When you attach a file, be kind enough to take a few extra seconds to paste it into the body of the email as well. This shows consideration to the recipient by saving them time and risk in opening attachments. Is this more time-consuming for you? Yes. Is it worth it? Yes. Don't hit reply all. Avoid using reply all unless everyone needs to know. When the C-suite, CEO, COO, or administrative assistant sends an email to 10 staff members requesting volunteers for a community service project, reply to the admin, not to all 10 members. Why make 10 others delete your email? Reply all is a function for ongoing deliberations on a particular subject. Do reply expediently. Replying within 24 hours is common courtesy. Leave someone hanging for any longer, and you are not only perceived as rude, it could cost your business in the long run. If you've unintentionally kept someone waiting longer than 24 hours, or extenuating circumstances arose, politely explain the situation and express your apologies. Don't use emojis. Those little winking, smiling icons are for text messages. They are inappropriate and unprofessional in a business email. Emoticons may divert emails to a spam filter or junk mailbox, and it can look immature and unprofessional. Do protect privacy. Email is public. Even though an email is deleted, online services and software programs can access messages on the hard drive. Before you click send, consider what may happen if a business colleague, your competitor, an employer, the FBI, or any unintended recipient reads your email. Think of it this way: how would my email look if it were posted on Facebook? Don't be negative. It's inappropriate to email negative comments. An email in all uppercase letters connotes anger in an email. These antagonistic messages cause awkwardness long after the email has been sent and received. If you must relay bad news via email, use objective words and state the facts. Face-to-face communication is best when relaying bad news. Don't be negative. It's inappropriate to email negative comments. An email in all uppercase letters connotes anger in an email. These antagonistic messages cause awkwardness long after the email has been sent and received. If you must relay bad news via email, use objective words and state the facts. Face-to-face communication is best when relaying bad news. Don't forget the conversation closer. By letting the recipient know that a response isn't needed, the email cycle doesn't continue on in perpetuity. Close with no reply necessary. Thank you again. See you at the board meeting Tuesday, or please let me know if I may be of further assistance. End your email with a closing such as best regards, sincerely, thank you, or another appropriate phrase.